What's going on, fellas? Happy Friday to you all. The most exciting part about the weekend beginning is that we have more time to watch some RLCS, and we're going old school with Karmine Corp just because we haven't seen him in quite a while. This is from Open Qualifier 6, and I thought we'd do something that we typically don't, which is watch a couple straight games from one series. Typically, you know, we hop around, see the perspective of a couple different employees, but I kind of want to see how Vatira is flowing here, and I figured that we would watch a couple in a row. So figured maybe the last three from this quarterfinal matchup against Oxygen Esports, a team that we have gotten pretty comfortable with over the last couple of weeks, as they have been in the Shift Summer League for Europe, and Karmine Corp are going to bleed one early. They, of course, find themselves in a bit of a weird spot. They're going to make it to Worlds by the skin of their teeth. Oxygen technically could have taken it from them after Karmine Corp. Oh my gosh, Vatira, what a fake. That was beautiful. After you know, they missed out on one of the main events, dropping out to Sa and I think Top Cougars. We talked about this in the Rise video from a couple of weeks back, but they did not hold fate in their own hands, which was bizarre. At the beginning of the season, it was kind of one of those things when the format was released where everybody said, oh man, hopefully none of the big teams miss out on a main event. And it was like, come on, none of the big teams are actually going to miss out. And not only did a big team miss out, but potentially the biggest team. This is a super team that was put together by Vatira himself, essentially hand-picked. Got his former teammate Rise, grabbed Atow, a burgeoning young prospect who we all came to know and appreciate for what he could do on the ball when he was on Team Liquid with Oski and Chronic, and was hand-picked as the kind of third piece, the new Joyo, as it were, of the former Team Queso and Moist rosters. And success has not found them over the course of the split. Of course, expectations were super high in the Copenhagen major, and just ended up being unable to get it done. I think they dropped in the semifinals to Gentlemates, and of course weren't even in attendance at London. Easy save here by Vatira, trying to transition out. It seems like Karmine Corp really start out slow in a lot of their games. They're kind of feeling teams out. They kind of know that they have the ammo to end up overcoming these teams. They're just trying to pick their spots and see if they can get any early ones, easy ones early, that is. But Oxygen are not going to let them do that, as they're going to, Archie's going to lace one top right corner to put them up. Vatira goes for the slight loss right to his teammate on the kickoff. So he's going to roll over to the corner. How are the settings looking? I don't know. This video might come out looking like junk. I tried to pump them up a little bit. I saw a comment on the last video about the frame rate looking pretty rough, so wanted to see if we could upgrade that. I just don't really understand how OBS works all the time, so hopefully this is looking good. Anyways, I feel like Vatira has been a little up and down. It's very easy to be down on a player when what we know from him commonly is, best player in the world caliber. But I've been very surprised by some of the games that I watched most recently from Karmine Corp and from Vatira, where it looks like they clearly want him to be the third man, just because I think Rise and Atow are best when they are upfield, which kind of forces Vatira into this role, kind of like how Daniel was on Space Station Gaming. But I just feel like sometimes when you're off the ball that much, we talked about this with Joyo recently, where you're asked to do so much as the third man, you don't really get to shine offensively, and I just don't feel like Vatira has been to the same caliber that we've expected from him in the past. Oski tries to go for the musty, easy save out by Vatira. Makes something challenging look routine. Here we go in transition. Rise is going to drop it, take another touch to himself, causing chaos. 2 go. Atow is going to put them in an awkward position, and Vatira is just going to try and keep this in, and is able to do so. A little bit of clunkiness on the rotations here. Atow isn't getting exactly where he wants to. Not the takeoff that Vatira wanted. And this one is just kind of bobbing around in the midfield here. Ooh, Archie tries to clear, lands right on Joyo. Vatira should track this one, and he does just in time. Is going to let Archie grab one over his head there. Tries to get a little bit of a demo upfield on Joyo. Cannot convert on that. Vatira is up. It's over him. And it just seemed like Karmine tried to get going a little too late. Not a ton of impact from all three players who are looking a little clunky around each other, which is what you expect when you have three-star players sometimes. You know that they're going to have to find new roles and mesh around each other as Vatira drops almost 600 points. Didn't really feel like it was that much, but 3 saves to his name is going to help the numbers as Rise and Atow are unable to mesh around him. Neither of them getting on the stat sheet in any meaningful way. So let's hop into game 6 here and see if Karmine Corp are able to respond. All right, game 6. Let's see if Vatira can respond. God, I really don't know if my PC here is going to appreciate this map as I bump all the settings. But hey, maybe this one is just a we got to figure it out type of deal. You know what I mean? Great save there by Vatira. I am trying to see how Vatira is getting involved in the offense. It's pretty important to me here, as unable to get back to that one. A very bold pre-jump, but hey, I like the idea of kind of forcing your opponent's hands, not letting them get comfortable. This one gets into a really awkward spot. Very heads-up play by Vatira there. Knows that the ball is probably over him with the amount of momentum that he has and how close he is to the ball. So tries to get the bump on Joyo. Joyo's just going to turn that one over. Vatira has it midair. Gets that one over too. Can Atow finish it? He can. That was just a simple turnover there by Joyo. And Vatira did exactly what you need to punish on easy turnovers like that. Vatira really likes to pepper the boost. Do you know that? How he kind of feathers it? Really getting it going. Is going to carry this one all the way. And Rise is making that whole play happen. Really mucking this up are Karmine Corp, making it very difficult for Oxygen's defense to get set. They keep this in. That's a pop. Vatira's not going to go for it. Trust that Joyo is going to get the touch, and he does. Has a ton of space here. Probably not the first touch that he wanted. And those are the little things that we don't anticipate seeing from Vatira. You know, known by many as the best player, if not certainly the second best player in the world, alongside Zin in most people's eyes. Just, you know, it's the little things where it seems like he is not super comfortable. Hoping that he can convert this, he cannot. Try to get another bump on Joyo there. And right there, rotating right on top of his teammate. It's just the little stuff that ends up accruing over time and putting you in a tough spot. And whereas any defense there, Karmine Corp are going to give up a very easy one. They both trade basically gimme goals. Perfect ball back to Rise. Ceiling pinch is going to drop right to Oski. Rise is going to keep his momentum going and get a challenge, but Oski is going to pick it back up. Oski loves those musty flicks. And that's another one where they almost get, Archie gets the, you know, kind of the doink off his hood upfield that almost converts. Couldn't quite there. And Vatira is going to take his time catching up to this ball. Look at how spaced out Karmine Corp are right here. Vatira takes by himself. Rise is the only one on screen right now. Atow's the only one up for this. Like, Karmine are playing this so wide. They are going to double commit on the sidewall there. And they just, you know that they have the talent, but they really do look a little out of sorts. Maybe it's kind of one of those things where it's mental because they know what the expectations are, and if they're feeling clunky, like, they really feel it, you know what I mean? Like, it's tough for them to break out. Vatira is going to very easily get back into the play here, but was so far behind that it really was up to his teammates there for a second. And this one is just spaced again, spaced so odd. Seems like it's just one-on-one challenges by each team on both sides, just kind of volleying balls. Here's Atow going for a solo pass to Vatira. And Rise finishes. This is somewhere where Karmine are world class. Their ability to finish in the box. We've seen this a couple times already. But look here, Vatira, the play is not done. Immediately turns his head to look for a bump. Gets Joyo, who's the only man in the goal. And that is an easy one to put away for Rise. That really can be, it's something that we talk about with the NBA all the time. But the ability to score easy shots. Vatira, what are you doing? Trying to go for something masterful. Maybe, I guess it's a fine time to go for something like that. But we talk about it all the time in the NBA where it's like, you know, can you score easy or do they all look difficult? Oh my goodness, what a save. You've got to be kidding me. Look at this one. Vatira with the feather. Almost puts that one top bins. Who was that? Was that who's falling right there? It must have been Archie with the save. Unbelievable. Rise going to pop this one into the middle. Oh, man. That really was a good pass. It's kind of one of those tough down angles to read, but Vatira thought he was going to go for something more simplistic. Ended up faking himself out. Another bump up field here. Let's see if Karmine Corp can make the most of the power play. Atow is going to take his time to diminish what they had with the man advantage. Rise is going to pop once again. Archie's going to get out to it. Vatira's going to back off. Another pop middle. They love going for these kind of volleyball volleys where, you know, they just kind of pop one up into the center and see if somebody can get up to it. Vatira's going to let that one go right over top of himself. That was a little bit of some odd defending. Maybe he was called off of it by a teammate. I am really interested to see how this team is going to perform at the World Championship because this is something we talked about quite a bit with the Rise video, but the expectations for the season are still incredibly high, if not the highest, for this Karmine Corp roster. They were brought together as a super team to do exactly this, and I would almost venture to say, and this one is going to die here. Let's see what this last play is going to turn into. Atow's going to try and take this out. Joyo's going to send it into the middle. Vatira, terrible read, isn't able to get a touch on man or a ball. And thank goodness Rise was there to keep that one out as kind of a rickety game there for both of these teams. This one is spaced super odd. It's slow. The pace is really lethargic. And it looks like two teams who are just trying to feel the other out. And are trying to not give up anything too simple. And in trying to not give up anything too simple, they both end up yielding a couple kind of routine goals. So let's hop over to Game 7 and see which of these two powerhouses can close it out. Fellas, I'm a fool. I thought this whole time we were going 7. We're only going 6. So let's see who's able to close it out here. I know the answer. Do you? Find out on this episode of Dragon Ball Z. So... we were saying as the last game kind of ended there, I would almost venture to say that the pressure is even higher for Karmine Corp now that they missed out on a major, because it's kind of like, my goodness, guys, like we invested a lot of time, energy, and resources into putting this team together. Are you telling me that you are unable to win any of these meaningful tournaments? As Atow almost gets a crazy redirect on there. Vatira loves these impact demos in the opponent's box to try and set up power plays. But if this team is unable to get, I would say, even a top 4 minimum in this tournament, I feel like it's very challenging to look at this season as a success. Vatira's just going to pop that one out of trouble. And it seems like this map is... dropping a couple frames as well. Hopefully you guys aren't seeing that. If you are, I understand. This channel's still a work in progress. We're trying to figure out what the optimal settings are. And like I said, OBS is not my forte. Archie's going to pop this one into the corner. Gets a fantastic read on it, but Joyo's just not close enough there to put it away. Vatira tries to cheat up and see if he can catch Oski sleeping. Oski is quick to it. Diverts himself out of the way of the demo, and here's Vatira just setting up. Joyo just turns the ball over to him again. It's like it's almost like Joyo doesn't remember their teammates, and oh my goodness, is this Archie? Vatira's just going to turn that one over. Was trying to go for a power shot, see if he can catch the defense off guard. That's Oski. What on earth is this? We got to look at this. I think we're on... Here's Oski POV. Gets the reset, uses it immediately, and is just going to force. Man. Powerful big Oscar is going to put that one away to put Oxygen on the board early here. Vatira in the midfield. Checks to see if anybody's close. Knows he has a little bit of space. Is going to take this one. Tries to speed this one up on his first touch, but is met. And immediately tries to go for that, big demo play, physical play in the box while Oxygen are set up in their own defensive end. The offense isn't looking super cohesive in this game so far, but why do you need team cohesion when you got Rise doing stuff like this? My goodness. Let's see it. Rise point of view. POV, that is. And is just going to put that one away with so much force. Back on Vatira point of view. Is going to try and kill it over to Rise, and that is a perfect kickoff. Rise has so much time and space. Let's see what Atow can do with this one. Meets his former teammate Oski in the corner. Joyo is going to pop that one up high, and Vatira is going to meet him and keep the ball in. Oh, Joyo with a great double touch is going to put Vatira a little bit out of position, but he is going to recover. Rise is going to leave that one in the midfield. That's that volleyball tap that we know that they really like to go for. Atow is going to try and change pace, keep this one on the ground. And that's Joyo who's going to pay for his life. Vatira's just going to clear this one out with no boost. Tries to force Joyo there, which he does. Joyo really not taking a lot of his own touches. This, of course, was at a time we've seen Oxygen gel much better in this SSL tournament, like we talked about in the Joyo video. But this was at a time where they really still were finding themselves with this new roster. And here's a good transition opportunity for Karmine Corp. Rise is just going to try and pump this one up to nobody. It seemed like they had a pretty good opportunity. Maybe he was just betting for them being able to set up some sustained offenses. Vatira grabs his boost, tries to get out of Atow's way. And this one is just going to pop around. Vatira is going to escape all the way back. It seems like Karmine Corp are very cognizant of what Oxygen can do on solo plays in transition. We commonly see Karmine only sending 2. They rarely send the full houses. That is a great give and go there by Atow, but not enough force by Vatira. It's going to leave this one. And look at how much they are keeping this offense in here.